As you are aware, the past week we spent some time reflecting on fatherhood as the world celebrated fathers. And we are grateful and thankful to God for all the fathers that have been fulfilling their responsibilities to their children. Today I want to talk a little bit as we continue this conversation regarding men. What are the qualities that we should be looking for in our men? What are the qualities we should be, first of all, cultivating in our men, ensuring that they have that, so that in the relationships that they share with women, the children, and the wider community, they can be looked up to. So we're not here today in any way to talk down to men, but to see how we can uplift them to become better in the task that they have to fulfill. With me today is Sister Audrey on my left and Sister Sharon on my right. We are happy to have them joining us today again to have this conversation. I am quite sure that each person here today listening to me have had an opportunity to interact with a male. What are the qualities that we are looking for? What it is that we think is so important as we look forward to them? We've been studying the book of Ruth, and therefore today we want to have a little focus on Boaz, that outstanding character in the book of Ruth. So today we are going to read two passages of scripture. We're going to read chapter 2, a portion of chapter 2, and we're going to read chapter 4, a portion of that scripture, and then have a conversation. I trust that you will join us. I trust that you will be able to reflect with us as we take on this study today. Sister Audrey, could you read for me chapter 2?
Ruth chapter 2, verses 1 to 12. Naomi had a relative. He was from Elimelech's side of the family. He was a man of outstanding character named Boaz. Ruth, who was from Moab, said to Naomi, "Please let me go to the field of anyone who will be kind to me. There I will gather the grain left behind by the reapers." Naomi told her, "Go, my daughter." So Ruth went. She entered a field and gathered the grains left behind by the reapers. Now it happened that she ended up in the part of the field that belonged to Boaz, who was from Elimelech's family. Just then, Boaz was coming from Bethlehem, and he said to his reapers, "May the Lord be with you all." They answered him, "May the Lord bless you." Boaz asked the young men in charge of his reapers, "Who is this young woman?" The young men answered, "She's a young Moabite woman who came back with Naomi from the country of Moab." She said, "Please let me gather grain, and I will only gather among the bundles left behind by the reapers." So she came here and has been on her feet from daybreak until now. She just sat down this minute in the shelter. Boaz said to Ruth, "Listen, my daughter, don't go into any other field to gather grain, and don't even leave this one. Stay here with my young women. Watch where my men are reaping, and follow the women in the field. I have ordered the young men not to touch you. When you are thirsty, go to the jar and drink some of the water that the young men have drawn." Ruth immediately bowed down to the ground and said to him, "Why are you so helpful? Why are you paying attention to me? I am only a foreigner." Boaz answered, "People have told me about everything that you have done for your mother-in-law after your husband died. They told me how you left your father and mother and the country where you were born. They also told me how you came to people that you didn't know before. May the Lord reward you for what you have done. May you receive a rich reward from the Lord, God of Israel, under whose protection you have come for shelter." This is it.
Thank you, Sister Sharon, Sister Audrey, for reading for us today. Now, as we reflect on this in the passage, we want to look at the conversation between Boaz and Ruth. The text says that Boaz was a man of great wealth and influence.
Yes.
And so I am asking the question today, when women are looking for husbands, partners in life, when they are seeking to have men who will become the husband and father of the children, what are some of the qualities that we are looking for? These two stands up. He is wealthy and he is influential. Is that sufficient?
No.
All right, let's hear it. Talk a little bit about it. You say no. Yes.
His character have to be outstanding.
You think character is important?
Yes, very, very, very
Yes.
much important.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't know how economically, how life will play out.
Yes.
So if you just focus on the wealth,
Yes.
then then if the wealth disappears, then you have nothing to stand. And most of the time, I think about my father as I think about Boaz. And he was not wealthy, monetary-wise, but stability. I got stability from him because he was present.
Yes.
And he was provider. And he listened and can be confident to be there for me. When I look at Boaz and look how influential Boaz was, but yet still he was kind to a stranger in his field. And he also gave wise counsel. Don't go wander off into any other field. And he also told those that were in his employment to make sure you take care of, don't touch her. Don't take advantage of her. So he set up protection. So as young men in society, you want to know that you look in your community and you see girls are young children that are struggling, that don't have a family base. Then you can look out for them without even expecting that they pay you back.
Okay, so without seeking to exploit them. Alright, so
what I saw is that he saw her vulnerability, but he did not take advantage of her.
Alright, so you agree that one of the qualities that we ought to be looking for, fathers and husbands, is that they are protectors.
Right,
Yes.
they are protectors.
Yeah, and we're not saying that you must go out and kill people.
No.
We're saying that fathers and husbands are to be protectors of their families.
Yeah.
They have that responsibility to be protectors of their families. Audrey highlights again in the reading a second quality, and that is the quality of provider. Yeah? He makes provision for her in the community so that her physical needs
They're taking care of.
can be taken care of. And that is a quality that I think for the most part in our culture, those two we emphasize.
Right.
Yeah.
Man is to be protector and man is to be provider. But sometimes we come up very short on the third element, right? I call it promoter, all right? That is to develop, to nurture, to strengthen, to empower, right? Giving good counsel, giving advice, ensuring that your presence is there. Because as you know, that people are looking up, and there are always people, as you call them, vulnerable people, in this case the children, who are looking for role models, who are looking to be guided. Right? But in this conversation that she had with Ruth, we want to highlight a few of the qualities that is character reflecting. And character is not just about speech.
No,
Character is also about, as Rastaman would say, liberty, integrity.
It was trustworthy.
Yes. So these qualities are what we want to look for. I think that you can agree that he was a kind man.
Yes, so even though you can't provide financially all of the things that the child needs, but you are there with your presence. You turn up with parent teachers meeting.
Yes.
You make your presence felt at school,
Yes.
and your child know that they can come to you for counsel.
Right.
It speaks volumes.
Yes.
We weren't wealthy,
Yes.
but I can always come if something happened on the street. I can always talk to my dad about it.
Yes.
And to this day, at my age,
Yes.
it has given me stability.
Yes.
So that even if I want to venture out to enhance my dreams and my goals,
Yes.
I am not afraid that if I go after my dreams and they don't materialize, I'll ever be homeless as long as my dad is alive.
Okay.
And that makes me give me more drive to go after what I want.
Yes.
Because I know that there's a safety net called home that always. I am 55 years old.
Yes.
And to this day, every single week, my dad called me. It wasn't always so to say the words, but as time progresses and we mature, every day, every week we hear the word, I love you.
Oh, wonderful.
And it gives me, it makes you fierce in terms of just a better understanding of yourself.
Yes.
So I know my father loved me, and he told me, and it's so important. And sometimes men don't want to say the words.
Yes.
Girls need to be affirmed.
Right.
So you know that no matter who out there in the world don't love you, your parents love you. And it gives me a foundation that is second to none.
Right. So Sharon, in this text, in the text that I have read, Ruth asks the question, what have I done? Why are you so kind and considerate towards me? Which suggests that she's seeking, as I used this word a while ago, affirmation. How important is affirmation in the lives of members of our family? How important is that?
It is important that as parents, as father,
Yes.
as much as is possible, we affirm a child.
Yes.
In the sense that it reassures the child,
Yes.
it gives them a better sense of who is it that I am.
Yes.
Because if it is that you can affirm the child to say, okay, I love you,
Yes.
I'll always be there for you.
Yes.
Even if you step outside the boundary or the perimeter that I have established for you to be guided by,
Yes.
I will still be there.
Yes. Yes. So that's very important to build self-esteem,
It is
to answer that lingering question,
Yes.
you know.
Who I am.
self-awareness.
Yes.
Yes.
And to instill confidence. Yes. And I like what Boaz said. Boaz told her that he heard.
Yeah, our repetition proceeds. I heard how you take
He
care of this.
heard of your act of kindness, your consideration that you have given to others, and because of that, I am affirming you. I welcome you. I appreciate you. And these are words that fathers need to say. Generally speaking, men don't speak a lot.
Oh.
So in what practical ways? A hug, perhaps?
Yes, a part.
A part.
A word of encouragement
Yes.
and a smile.
A hug up, a throw up in the ear for the little ones. Yeah?
And sometimes, as you said it just before,
Yes.
father wasn't able, he was a provider, but wasn't a
Never having
Wealthy man.
like that.
Yes.
Right.
Never
But
having
just your
to
presence.
do.
Yes.
Just your presence.
Yes.
Being there. Creating
Yes.
that sense of stability
Yeah.
for a child. It was wonderful.
Oh, great, great. So we want to say to the fathers, don't run away from the
No.
children. But there's a word for caution too for the women.
Yes.
Sometimes they are the ones.
Right.
So, because that can only provide
Yes.
him $5,000 and we want 10.
Yes.
Because he did that.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
The fact that he stays
Yes.
and he acknowledge that this is my child
Yes.
is room
Right?
to navigate.
So we have to improve on
Yes.
that and to say to our
Very
women,
essential.
even if you and the man separate,
Yes.
allow the man
And the
access
relationship.
to the child
Definitely.
because that is important as a part of it. Right?
It's very important. You know, Pastor, I want to share my experience. I don't know what it is to have a father, so to speak.
Yes.
I didn't grow up with a father. I don't know my father.
Yes.
And I can see the persons who have said that as mother, we father our children, I can say that there is always this yearning inside of me
Yes. Yes.
to know a physical father,
Yes.
to know what it would have been like.
Yes.
And so I give God thanks that
Yes.
He has now filled that gap, and I can say that I see in some person. My grandfather was
Yes.
a figure for me.
Wonderful.
So there was something that stood out.
Yes.
Him always being there, always have something. He didn't have it, but just having, living a little piece of meat in his face.
Yeah,
that
finding
Yeah.
out
that
the
meant a lot. So to this day,
Yes.
I hold on to those memories.
Brilliant.
So I want to encourage parents out there, especially mothers,
Yes.
allow fathers to have access to their children, especially their daughters. I don't say the male don't need
Yeah.
it, I don't need it, but I can say just something.
So, but I can
Father,
speak
it
to the
reassures, it reaffirms,
Yes.
it confirms to the child who I am.
Yes.
And you can stand in the midst of adversity because adversities are going to come.
Right.
So you have something to stand.
Yes.
I can speak to the other spectrum.
Yeah.
I don't know a mother.
Yes.
So today for me is exceptionally special.
Yes.
It was only my dad.
Yes.
And even though sometimes growing up, your dad have relationships and you struggle with, because you never have no mother, you want your father attention to yourself. But he has to balance his relationship with his significant other and you.
Yes.
And even though sometimes you didn't understand it, because you learn how to honor him.
Yes.
Later on as life progresses, there's no big divide that you have to go in order to have conversation with him now.
Yeah.
Because you never disrespected him.
Yes.
So as you mature and you look back and understand that when he was guiding me, even though I never understand it was out of love.
Yes.
No, I get the bonus,
Yes.
double whammy, because now he's my best friend, is my stability.
Yes.
My dad called me 3-4 times a week because they live on the other side.
Yeah.
Always looking out for me, always watching out for me. And plus, church provided that my spiritual father
Yes.
at church took up the slack when we were at loggerheads
Yes.
and came in and make sure we go to school,
Yeah.
make sure provide that spiritual nurturing that I need, and step in on the gap too, in a physical world, make sure that we're doing the school work, and sometimes providing lunch money because sometimes, even if that is not available, church, men in church build up that slack for me
Yes.
without expecting anything or be beholden or anything to them.
Yes.
And it gave me stability.
Yes.
So what was lacking, I found it in church.
Good. All right, so thank you. So we've seen that aspect. We want to look at another aspect of Boaz, how he engaged in business, how he dealt with the issues of business. And chapter 4, Sharon is going to read a portion of that for us as we see him engage in the business aspect of life. Because men are not just in the home, they go in the public space. They have to operate in the public space, and what they are is going to come out in the relationships that they share with others. Read for us, chapter 4.
4:1-5.
Yes.
Reads, Boaz went to the town gate and took a seat there.
Yes.
Just then, the family redeemer he had mentioned came by. So Boaz called out to him, "Come over here and sit down, friend. I want to talk to you." So they sat down together. Then Boaz called 10 leaders from the town and asked them to sit as witnesses. And Boaz said to the family redeemer, "You know Naomi, who came back from Moab. She's selling the land that belonged to our relative Elimelech. I thought I should speak to you about it so that you can redeem it. You can redeem it if you wish. If you want the land, then buy it here in the presence of these witnesses. But if you don't want it, let me know right away, because I am next in line to redeem it after you." The man replied, "All right, I'll redeem it." Then Boaz told him, "Of course, your purchase of the land from Naomi also requires that you marry Ruth, the Moabite widow. That way she can have children who will carry on her husband's name and keep the land in the family."
Thank you, Sharon. Very interesting conversation here as he stepped out of the home into the public space to deal with business. Yes?
Integrity.
Yeah. So what stands out?
It's integrity.
Integrity. And not only that, he
Yes.
was honest enough to say what was attached to the land, because he could have just sell the land, accept
Plus, he was fair. He
Yes.
gave the person that was next in line a fair
Right.
chance.
First choice.
Yes.
Yes.
Not most people would do that. They would
Right.
take advantage. It was
Yes.
honest. So it was honest and fair.
And I
Yes.
saw a sense of humility.
Yes.
He sat and he waited.
Yes.
I invited him over
Right.
to come
Right.
and speak with him. So
Right.
I saw humility on his part as well.
Right?
And you also bring
Witnesses.
Witnesses to this
Accountability.
Yes.
He recognized that in public space, as you say, integrity, character matters. And he ensured that the deal that he was about to be made is witnessed not by 2 or 3,
No one tell
but by 10. 10 people. That's the extent to which he was prepared to expose himself to scrutiny,
Yeah.
to ensure that whatever he does, his character was up there, was standing out, and I really like that.
It was done in a respectful manner.
Yes, right. He was very respectful of the man who was ahead of him, although he had the knowledge, because apparently the man did not know. Right? He did not use his knowledge for his advantage. He had prior knowledge.
But one of the next thing was that
Yes.
he was not only after the property like the other person was just, I will take your resources, but I will not take responsibility for you. He was willing to go the extra mile and to do what was true.
Expected.
Yeah.
And even beyond, he went beyond the call of duty in that regard, because he made a commitment to Ruth. He said to her, "If he does not want, then I will."
Yeah.
And he followed through. He's a man whose word can be trusted. Yes.
One part of the story that really jumps out for me was when Ruth went and lay down at his feet.
Yes.
It speaks to people in the community.
Yes.
And you must not take advantage.
Yes.
So even though that speaks like some form of intimacy and near proximity,
Yes.
and yet still, he did not. He tell her, "Well, go and speak, but you go back home."
Yes.
So he protected her reputation.
Exactly.
It was really, really
Yes.
outstanding.
Yes. So today we are reflecting on what kind of man, a moral man, a man of integrity, whose character shines out, a man who is
Fair in his dealings.
fair in his dealings with others, a man who sees the vulnerability of others and do not take advantage of it. You know, he protects them, right? He is very respectful, because as we said, being influential and wealthy are important, and we're not taking that from anybody. But if you have wealth and no character, then chances are the quality of life that you are going to be pursuing is going to be lacking.
Yeah.
And so we want to commend our men. We want to take the opportunity also to commend those who are nurturing our boys,
Yes.
parents, aunts, uncles, grandmothers, to understand that there is a quality
Let's set the example.
as it relates to integrity and character that must be
Important.
nurtured in them. You can't just teach them to come up and be rich. Yeah? It needs more than that, right? Because the quality of life we share is going to be around the relationships that we have with others. And that's important for us as we go forward, whether in the home as men or whether in the public space. We are to ensure that we are consistent in our character, to ensure that those with whom we deal can trust us.
Because economy will rise or fall.
Exactly.
With the character
Right?
stance.
Yes, the character stance. And so I want to take the opportunity once again to commend our men, commend our husbands, commend our fathers, and pray God's blessing upon them. Let us just pause for a word of prayer as we pray for our men in our country at this time. Father, we thank you for the men in our country, the men in our lives, the men in our churches, the men in our community. We pray that they will be men of integrity and character. We pray, Almighty God, that as they go forward to be husbands, to be fathers, that you will provide for them so that they in turn will be able to provide for their families. We thank you for the men, and we pray for the children, and pray that the children will rise up to honor them and to obey them and to ensure that the quality of their relationship will be improved. Bless all the men of our nation as we give you thanks in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you for having joined us today. We look forward to having you next week at 6 p.m. when we will once again have another Bible study. God bless you. And please remember to subscribe, like and share our study so that others may know that we are here. All right? Be a blessing as you go forward.